Hi there, I'm Beetlejuice from Reddit's Wicked Edge, and this is part 2 in a series of help. I got a bunch of classic straight razor, double edge razor shaving gear for Christmas, and help. It seems intimidating, but it's not nearly as bad as it seems. There's a lot of playing around to get everything working right for you, but we'll get you there. Now, this is actually going to be a dual shave. I'm going to use both a straight razor and a double edge razor, one side of my face for each, just so that I can go through the techniques gently for both. If you got a straight razor, you should have gotten, sorry, I'm not used to reaching behind me in a mirror through a camera, a strop. May have a cloth back and a leather back. Might be on a board, might be a piece of balsa. There's a dozen different ways, but I'm just going to show you quickly the basic method of stropping. So, what you do, sorry, itchy nose, you place the spine on the strop, rotate the blade down till it's touching, and then you pull down and away in an X pattern. You then bring the spine down, spine comes down and push up and away. Never put the blade down first. Spine, turn, pull. Spine, turn, pull. And you need to do that 40 times. Oh, and by the way, that's not 2. 1, 2. I've already stropped this, so I'm not going to make the double edge guys stand here and watch us do that. So, your face should be well hydrated. Ideally just out of the shower. In this case, I'm not. I'm going to take a little bit of damage for that. Before you lather up your face with the lather that I showed you in the last video how to make, you want your face wet. By the way, beard hair is, depending on who you listen to, capable of swallowing anywhere between 25 to 40% of its size, and its elasticity increases quite a bit as it's saturated with water. This makes it easier to cut, makes it less floppy in the follicle. There's a lot of good reasons why you want to have your face wet and well hydrated. There's also pre-shave soaps and pre-shave oils, beyond the scope of this video. Now, oh, by the way, I work without a script. I said it in the last video, I'll say it again. If I forget stuff, if I backtrack, I run without a net. There's also zero production value. This is shot in one shot. This is as real as you're going to get. The brush, what I do, push in, and I'm working in small circles. That's to force the foam matrix to the base of the hair and then loft it. So it's kind of, if you want to use a chick term, it's kind of exfoliating. Now what I'm doing is I'm going against the grain, and I should have mentioned that before I started shaving. If you let your beard grow out a little bit, you'll actually notice as you pass your hand over your beard that the hairs tend to dig back in like shark teeth in a particular way, but not in another. In my case, just about everything I have goes straight down, with the exception of this patch right here, which comes back up. In that regard, I'm lucky. Some people have some absolutely horrible patterns, and I feel really bad for these guys. But, yeah. So I'll start with straight razor, because I'm left-handed, and this works better on the left side of my face, and you'll get better light. This is your classic grip. This is for balance as much as anything else. If you're using this and you need to not have it in your hand, it looks like this. If this falls and you catch it, you will thank me. If this falls and hits your foot and it's not closed, it's unpleasant. I've not done it. I've seen pictures. Trust me, this is sharper than a scalpel. This is just about laser in steel form. Okay, so what I'm doing here, by the way, is I'm gently pulling the skin up. You don't want to be trying to pull your neck off. You just want to kind of stabilize the skin a little bit. And the angle will take a little getting used to. And while this sounds absolutely terrible, I assure you, there's absolutely no pull. Now again, and I cheat a little bit, I have a goatee, so you're not going to get to see the tough part. Sorry. You want to go and see that, you can go check out one of my Movember videos. Excuse me while I don't talk here. The amount of pressure that you use is enough to keep the blade from stuttering on your skin, but not so much that you're pushing the blade in. You can also, if you want, use a towel to wipe the blade. If you do that, it's just like stropping. And then just wipe off the excess water if you need to. In my case, because I'm using a wet cloth. Really, trust me, not a step with this thing open. That door is closed and locked. The last thing you need is the wife, the kids, the dog to come in and hit that door, hit your arm, or hit your back. Unpleasant. So, and again, straight razor, it's a learning process. I'm sorry, there's a ton of angles, there's a ton of technique. I'm showing you the very rough basics. Now, double-edged razor, kind of sort of the same thing. It's a little easier, it's a little harder to hurt yourself with this guy. The big thing, straight down, you can go a little diagonal if you want, that's for the advanced class. Absolutely none of this horizontal stuff, unless you're into that sort of thing. I didn't say that. So, what you want to do, or one of the recommended, is you put the bar on your face and then rotate the blade down. Again, stretching the skin kind of the same way. And, oh, something I forgot to mention. This foam isn't just for comic effect. This is lubrication. And sort of like, you wouldn't run your car without oil in it, I hope. You don't do a naked live blade across your skin without lubrication. The first pass that you make will remove most, if not virtually all, of that lubrication. To make a second pass under those conditions means that you have introduced zero protection and a sharp skin grabbing blade. The technical term for this is bad. Okay, so that pass, by the way, for the most part was with the grain. Remember I said most of the hairs on my face grow down? This would be, in my case, across the grain, and this would be against the grain. So I'm going to show you the full luxury shave. I recommend, as you're learning, You might want to just stick with the grain shave for now. Once you get experienced in how it cuts and how it feels and how much pressure to use, because I gotta tell you, it's light. The average Gillette or Wilkinson sword or whoever Schick user apparently uses a tremendous amount of force compared to these guys or double-edged razors. One of your big learning curves is going to be not pushing in. It's tough. I should also mention I don't usually have to crank my head over that far. I'm trying to get the camera a good show. Anyway, feel that tomorrow. I should also mention that this is going to be more difficult for some people than others. Oh, and by the way, this drag that you saw, you notice I came down and away from this guy? Same thing with this. Don't point the dangerous end of this thing at anything you want to keep. Use your imagination. There are reasons. You know, you likely won't be able to do the long sweeping passes that you're seeing me do when you first start out. That's okay. It is far better to do little gentle choppy shots and get it working and get a decent shave than it is to try and emulate my style and get yourself into trouble. So again, you notice I'm moving my fingers around to try and improve the stretch of the skin. I'm also tilting my neck. I'm doing a lot of weird faces here. Again, overstretching is as bad as pressing too hard. You will get a miserable result. You'll get horrible razor bumps, ingrown hairs. It's not cool. So by the way, at this point, I'm technically, as good a shave as you're probably ever going to see out of a cartridge razor, at least based on my testing. However, this is the one. Now, not everybody can do this. There's some Asians typically don't have a problem with this. African descent, single pass for the most part. Caucasian, depends. And Arabic, typically a 2-pass, I've heard, but again, your mileage may vary. You may be able to do this just fine. Now, you'll notice my grip has changed here because this is an against the grain pass. I'm just removing some soap there because low traction and this thing don't mix. So, and again, this horrible sound that you hear isn't the hair being torn. That is the blade of the razor is so thin and the microphone on that camera seems to really like that sound, so it likes to amplify it. So again, by the way, this guy, it's called a weeper. Yes, I'm technically bleeding. No, I'm not in trouble. Double-edged blades, by the way, typically last anywhere between 2 to 3 shaves. May last a little longer, maybe a little less depending on your beard. I can stretch it out to probably 5, but let's just say not recommended. Not for me, at least. Find your own path. God, I'm starting to sound like the shaving version of Bob Ross. Okay, so, now, by the way, that's as pretty as I'm going to get. So if you were looking for a major miracle at the end of this thing, sorry, this is it. Now, just using some clear water to remove the remains of the soap. And there you go. So, alum block. You may or may not have this. If you don't, I recommend you get it. Typically, you can get these with no odor. They're not expensive. Several companies make them. You can usually find them at either online, of course, or health food stores or herbal stores typically carry them. Yeah, you just want to wet it and then rub it over your face in a single pass. You're just trying to deposit a thin layer of this onto your face. It acts as a mild astringent. It will stop any little weepers that you might have gotten from bleeding. And at that point you can either rinse that off. I leave it on. I don't mind it. Some people do. After that you can apply, or not, your favorite aftershave. If you find that you're really burning hard, I recommend witch hazel. Specifically for me, I found peppermint witch hazel from Thayer's. Got me through the rough patches when I was learning. Other than that, I've been asked before, can you trim your beard or level up your mustache? So, this is going to be rough because now I got to do this in the camera. Absolutely. Now, can you do the same thing with a double edge? Not quite as solid, but absolutely. So, sorry for the vomit cam. There you go. I have more videos that go into more details on some of the how-tos and what-to-dos here. Specific questions, you'll really find a great community at Wicked Edge. We're over 50,000 strong now of people who are at all skill levels, from the absolute shaving gods to people like you who have just gotten this and have absolutely no idea what to do. So, really and truly, how you're going to learn is by jumping in and doing it. You've just seen that you can absolutely survive a straight razor shave or a double-edged shave and not kill yourself. My parting thought, pressure. Really. almost no pressure. Like, you have no idea how little pressure you need to exert here. Your first shaves are going to suck, I promise. It gets better. It gets way better. And you get faster, but it takes time. Take this from I hate shaving to your morning kickstart / meditation. This is one of the coolest things that you're going to learn to do. And really, until next time, I'm Beetlejuice for Reddit's Wicked Edge. Keep them sharp.